So, Pallavi, another gorgeous house, another gorgeous home tour with Pallavi. So, this room I think is different from what we have seen from you earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all
I think this is very
white
different
and
from
clean. And
when I first, met the clients. I met them in this space, and just like every other room in the house, the layout of this room is also very different. And generally, what I've realized is that a lot of times we place our furniture in the house the way the builder has suggested.
yeah, whatever he had in his
mind.
head while planning his space, we kind of
Absolutely.
adjust to that.
And as a designer, I feel that's a part of my job to actually show the client the other kind of ways, options that can be done. And this room was also the same. And the place where we are sitting right now is where the television
Really?
used to be. Yeah.
I wish you had before pictures.
I really wish so. Now I wish so. So this is where the television used to be, and their sofa used to be in front.
Okay.
First thing anybody would come in and see is, you sitting and talking.
Yeah.
And that was not something that I would prefer. Like,
you want a little privacy.
You want a little privacy. So that was one of my main concerns when I saw this place. So I just mirrored the thing. I kind of put the television on this side and I put the sofas here. The sofas they already had. They had white sofas, and which kind of went very well with our theme. So what I did is, but they were quite open. So I reupholstered the sofas and I did leather sofas. And when we were thinking of the concept and everything, the theme that kind of emerged was more of modern lines and a little bit of art decor and things like that. And that's the reason why everything has been kept very clean lines over here. We haven't overcrowded it with furniture or anything. So the
straight lines and straight. Yeah.
So the sofas was the first thing that we set up, and
so to accommodate the sofa, I like how you've created a little. It's not a full wall, but it's a partition. It's very cute, and I like how you've given it a step with where you can place
put a plant.
Obviously, a lot of thought has gone into it. I would have never thought of doing that.
Something at the entrance, because I felt that actually the thing is there we are supposed to put some bamboo, which didn't come on time. So for the time being, we have the plants.
It's beautiful.
So that's how it was, and then so we did the television unit, and we wanted the television to be in front of the actual couch. So that's why the television there. And I wanted to, the theme that I really wanted to follow in this house was more of white, gold, little bit of black and grey. I kind of fix my mind on a color palette and then actually work towards it. And the textures that I wanted to use here, for example, we use a lot of glass, we use a lot of mirror, we use a lot of stone. So these are the things that I've kind of followed in the house as well. So when I was designing the television unit, I designed this panel which was with mirrors.
I love this panel. All mirrors.
All mirrors, and I didn't want it to be one block of mirror. So it's cut in different parts of mirror. So mirror was there, and I wanted to use stone. And as I said earlier as well, that using these kind of stones and marbles, it does become very expensive. So instead of that, I have used a wallpaper which gives a marble effect.
Which gives the effect.
Yeah. And this wallpaper has like the marble has it's got like the touch of gold that we really wanted. So that is why this place has
it's come together.
It's come together. And of course this center table was their earlier center table. Okay. It used to have these glass shells inside and all that, so I got rid of that. I added these brass strips.
It's the small details that make a big difference. It's really making a big difference.
It just kind of blends
with the it looks very nice. And the drawing room merges into
the dining area. The dining table, they had an old dining table, and the table had a glass top, and it was brown in color, which would not really go with the theme of the house. So what I did was to replace the top with a marble base, so that again kind of complements what we're doing, and it just suddenly looks like a new table. Of course, 2 chairs were fully reupholstered, and the other chairs were polished. So that kind of adds up.
But the high point of that room is the console table and the mirror, and it's gorgeous. The grey tones, it just looks so elegant.
I think grey, gold, white. These are like these are classic colors. These items.
I don't know. There's something very old world English.
It's very
very posh. Very nice. So I like the knobs, which I mean that big flower on the thing is very beautiful.
And instead of typically laminating it with some wooden texture and things like that, I did a Decor spray paint. You know, the kind of paint that you do on cars and things like that. So we did it in a nice silvery grey, and I wanted it to look very clean. That's the reason why. And at the front, I didn't want to add those tiny knobs. So these were actually wall pieces.
So this is
So I kind of turned them into knobs. And
it looks stunning. That's like the highlight of
the house. And of course we have the view again to continue with the mirror. And you'll see that all the mirrors also have beveled edges. So the way the mirrors are cut, you know, that is why there is that feel of Art Deco to the place, and that's also there in that mirror. And I wanted, you know, not typically to have a light on the mirror, but to have it on the sides. So these are things that I think when you're following a design theme in the house, you know, if I'm using a modern Art Deco theme, you will have to understand that the lights have to go this way. If you put a light on top of it, it won't really match. Yeah. So the other part of the house, which is the most beautiful thing about the house, is the double ceiling. You know? And most houses, they actually use that area up in a room or something, but here you have this space where you look up and it's endless. And I was so mesmerized by it. I wanted to just celebrate that space. That space had to look like, you know, the part of the house. So what I did was to make that length feel even longer and, you know, even nicer, I added a vertical panel. And on the panel, I've added a wallpaper of stone. So, you know, ideally in our houses, we don't have fireplaces and all that. So this is something that kind of gives us that feel.
Plus, it's the same color scheme.
Exactly. So the bricks, the stones look very grey and beige and brown. You know, the edges are pretty rough. So that's what. And then from there, from the high ceiling hangs our beautiful chandelier.
It's stunning, and you can see it from, I think, almost every part of the house, which makes it
that's
even more
stunning thing that, you know,
it's gorgeous.
Is there.
So let's go and have a look at it from upstairs. From the bedrooms. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video where we gave you a tour of the dining room and the living room of this beautiful house with Pallavi. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and come back for more, because part 2 of this home tour is coming up next. And in part 2, we go one level higher and we go into the bedroom and the foyer of the house. So stay tuned. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next video or any video on the channel. I'll see you soon.